Hey YouTube, so I've got a 96 4Runner here. This is going to be about common defogger problems for the back tailgate window. This is from the service manual, and what I'm doing here is I'm doing this step where I'm testing the actual switch. It's got a defogger problem on the rear window. The rear window, when you hit the switch, does not defog. And a common problem on these trucks, third generation trucks, right here is where you need to look. Sorry about the mess, this is a work truck, but right here, if you pull this back, I don't want to do it because it's kind of a hassle to put back together, but these wires right here, they tend to break because of the motion of the lift gate going up and down. So first thing to check, if you have a defrost or anything in your tailgate not working, your window, your anything back here, check this right here. So things to check: first of all, in this box there is a defogger fuse right there. You check that. In your kick panel over here, I already put it back together, but under here you have to take out these 10 mil bolts, and on the back side of your fuse block you have to take the 10 mils out of there's two 10 mils in the fuse block. You take that out, and then on the opposite side of this there's two relays. This is the fuse panel when it's down. This second one down is your defogger relay. This group of wires right here, sometimes I've heard that there's like an MPX unit, something like that, that goes bad. I don't know if that's part of this panel, but if you check for voltage at this white one behind the defogger, you should have battery voltage at this white wire. And then it's really hard to see, but there's another one back there. You'll have to look at the online. There's another harness back there that you're supposed to have voltage at. So what I have here is I wanted to test my switch, and according to the factory service manual, which I'll show you a diagram, you're hooking up to basically test the timer in the switch and test the functionality of the switch. So this may not make sense looking at it here, but I'll show you a diagram. And what this is doing is this is going to a light bulb. This light bulb has, according to the service manual, it wants 3.4 watts, to get accurate resistance on it. So this is a Sylvania 158. There was another one, a 194. 194 is like 3.8 watts. I've heard that's pretty close. What I've got here is a couple Dorman terminals, and these are actually kind of wide for this application. There's another red one that I'll put a link to, the right one there. But what's going on here is I have this to the correct pins, and this is only good for 1996 to 1998. I think in 99 to 2002 they changed it, but I'll post what I have for those years. So what you have here is you need to test these light bulbs. These orange things, if you put a I mean, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but if you put a screwdriver in there and pop those out, those are little light bulbs that they do the backlight when your headlights are on, and they do the on indicator. So what this does is when you hook it up according to the service manual, you click this in, you can see the orange, that this indicates that that's on. And then what this is doing is this is lighting up the bulb, and the factory service manual says that you need to test that this times out after 12 to 18 minutes. I already timed it. It timed out to 13 minutes, somewhere around there. Some things that are really helpful with this, these gator clips are especially helpful in hooking up the light bulb, because you have those little tiny pins on there, and I don't know of a better way of hooking that up. So those gator clips are good for that. It comes down here, and basically you have a loop that goes from positive into this pin. And again, I'll show you the diagram, because otherwise this just looks like spaghetti junction. So this is just ruling out some things here. This lets me know that my fuse is good, my relay under the kick panel is good, my switch is good. So if I don't have defogger after this, here's the next step to take. So what you have up here is, if you take out this bolt out of your door panel, you have the push clips in your door panel, and you can take this panel down, and then right here on the passenger side, there's two prongs on this defogger grid. There's two prongs right here. You can test for voltage at that spot. You can test for continuity at that spot. And I don't think that I have the problem with any of this grid being broken, but that's something that you need to test. If there's any breaks in this grid, or there's any voltage not according to spec in this grid, then the actual grid could be your problem. So I'll post what I have on that, and just post your questions, and I'll do the best I can. I'll give you the PDFs of the information that I have. So hopefully that helps you track down your problem. So I just checked my stopwatch, and it was at just about 14 to 15 minutes. I didn't start it exactly when I hit the button, but so I have an addendum since I found my problem. So when you're testing for voltage, this is the harness that goes back to the tailgate, and this has a aftermarket alarm. I'm not thrilled about how they install those, but this black wire here, if you look, you see the black wire with the gray mark on it right there. If you disconnect this harness, you won't get the correct voltage reading, because there's a back window limit switch that is part of this circuit. And if that's disconnected, you won't get the correct voltage. So just put your test light in the back here and look for voltage at the black wire. You should have black wire voltage there. And then go into the back of the truck. This is where that harness comes out. You see this gray harness? Again, you should have black wire battery voltage. See the black wire there? It's pin 7, I think. You should have voltage here. If you disconnect this, again, you won't have your window limit switch giving feedback to the switch up front. The circuit will not complete if that back window limit switch is not giving a correct reading. So you should have voltage here. Just put your test light in the back of this. And then here's the problem that I actually found. Anytime you have, so I know the lighting isn't awesome here, but this is the problem that I found in the tailgate. You know, you get the tailgate here. Again, you can test for voltage at the black wire here. Don't disconnect it, or you won't get your correct window limit switch. Your window limit switch is right here behind the panel. You should have continuity. I should be able to pop this down real quick and show you. I already have the screws out, so there you go. This is your back window limit switch. This tells when the window's up and down right here. And when this is on and off, you should have either continuity or no continuity. This goes all the way back up to the defogger switch in the dash. So what I found here is that the wires that go to the pins, here's the pins Again, the lighting's not great, but see right here by my finger, these are the pins for the defrog. Yeah, the defrog. And the wire actually broke at this location. You see this? There's a plastic mount that the wire goes to. And at the place where that pivots for the window to slide, that's where the window actually broke. Or the wire. So I repaired the wire right there, and that'll fix the problem, because I have battery voltage at that pin now. So check those things. I would suggest starting at the front and going to the back, but the best place is to check the place where the wires move, and that's here in the tailgate. This is where the most frequent breaks are. So it likes to break here, and apparently it likes to break here. So this is what I repaired, and now my defog is functional. So here's the final result. Test light on. That's battery voltage at the defrog. Woohoo! I'm glad I fixed it, because it snowed that evening. Have a good one. See you on the next one.